Ever since man invented machines to move people, he has sought new ways to defeat the wind's resistance. And now there's a totally new aerodynamic design for this age. Ford brings you the age of Aerostar. Aerostar. Take it to the school. Take it to the campsite. Take it to the movies. Take it to the lumberyard. Or take it to the max. Yes, any way you take it, Aerostar proves its versatility. Aerostar! Ford Aerostar.
Strength, pride, tradition. For centuries, the Clydesdales have been known as a special breed. Today, the Clydesdales symbolize Budweiser's dedication to quality, superior ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and a distinctively clean, crisp taste only Budweiser can offer. Quality taste, because this Bud's for you.
Hershey Bar, one of the old-time greats. When you want pure milk chocolate, with or without almonds, nothing but a Hershey Bar will do. One of the old-time greats.
You can manage your business with the Tandy 6000 from Radio Shack, a powerful multi-user system that allows your office to work together by sharing one computer with word processing and data processing for strategic planning and control. Information sharing is essential for success, and the Tandy 6000 gives you a wealth of information for sound business decisions. Tandy computers, in business, for business, only at Radio Shack Computer Centers.
One of the world's best drivers talks about Ford quality.
Nobody expects a luxury car to be quick. But watch this Continental Mark 7 LSC. 0 to 50 in 8.1 seconds. I like that feeling.
Sure, race car drivers like to kick a car from 0 to 50. But sometimes it's more important how fast you go from 50 to 0. I'm going to stand on these anti-lock brakes at the end of this water-soaked test lane, but they'll pump themselves electronically. Watch what happens. They don't lock. They stop me quickly, even while I was turning. Take a look from another angle.
Whether it's accelerating quickly or stopping quickly, this Mark 7 LSC is just one more example of Ford quality. Quality you can feel.
Ford, you'll feel the quality, because quality is job one.
Barn's on fire. Gotta go. You're gonna go with Prestone.
Driving just 10,000 miles on weak, neglected antifreeze can leave a radiator looking this bad, while the Prestone radiator looks this good.
America goes with Prestone.
It's supercharged, the new Energizer AA battery.
From Energizer Science comes the longest-lasting Energizer AA ever made. No other battery can outlast it. It's supercharged.
It's America's newest bundle of energy.
All good horse traders know horses. The best ones know cowboys, too.
He needs a little work, but the price is firm. He's worth it, but I'm a little short. Just pay me half now, and if I don't hear from you, he knows the way home.
Bush. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush. Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountains.
Our Family Honor premieres tomorrow night at 9, 8 Central on ABC.
Give me a light. Go! Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Thank you.
Because everything else is just a light.
If mistakes make you boiling mad, try the liquid paper line of correction fluids. Our solutions for handwritten mistakes, photocopies, even colored stationery can get you out of, well, almost any jam.
It's so smooth it won't even scratch this delicate surface. The Papermate AccuPoint roller pen with a stainless steel point and metal rolling ball for remarkably smooth fine point writing. The Papermate AccuPoint.
You gotta move? You're thinking about a move. You are moving. Rider moving days are here with special rates on Rider trucks at Rider dealers everywhere. The newest, best trucks you can rent with power steering, automatic transmissions, radios, air conditioning. Did you move yet? Our special fall rates will help you move. See your Rider dealers. With these rates, you're gonna move. I'm moving. Yeah.
Rider, the right move.
We improved the new Ford Escort in a lot of different areas. We improved it in the area of performance with quicker acceleration. We improved it in the area of efficiency with better gas mileage. We even improved it in the area of comfort, not to mention just about every other area too, which is quite impressive for a car already the bestseller in this area.
Get 7.7 Plus at your Ford dealer now.
Hi, I'm Mark Malone of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is my wife, Mary Ellen. We were both brought up in single-parent homes, and because we came from broken homes, we know how some of these children feel.
That's why we're United Way volunteers at this United Way supported Family and Children's Service Agency, because we know what it's like to grow up in a home with only one parent.
Here at this fresh air camp, single parents and youngsters can get together to work out some of their problems. When I was being raised by my mom, it was tough, but I never gave up. And these kids are learning that they can make it too. United Way wants to make sure that they get their chance. That's why they support programs like this all across the country. When you support your United Way, you're saying that you care about families, and you want to see every kid have a chance. That's why we can say thanks. Because thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
Action News tonight at 11.
If you're waiting to buy a personal computer, you may have questions about power, expandability, and dollars and cents. For the complete answer, take a close look at IBM. An IBM PC runs thousands of programs, expands easily, and prices are better than ever. So don't wait. Once you take the first step, the rest come easy. IBM Personal Computers.
The competition is good. We had to be better. Now your Chrysler Plymouth dealer offers 7.5 financing or up to $1,500 cash back on many new 85s. And Chrysler's 550 protection plan. Get 7.5 or 400 back on Plymouth Horizon, Turismo, and Reliant K. 7.5 or 1,000 back on Chrysler Fifth Avenue. 7.5 or 1,500 back on Premium LeBaron, GTS, or Laser XE. Only at your participating Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
The enemy. Rain. A mere 1/8 inch can float your car off the road. Thus the rationale for Vector, Goodyear's unique all-season radio. So advanced, its crisscross tread actually pumps away water to help more tire and your car stay on the road. The Goodyear Vector. It simply performs like no other tire in the world.
This bud's for everyone in uniform who keeps things running smooth.
This bud's for you. You know America takes pride in what you do.
Budweiser salutes all the men and women who have proudly served this great country.
For all you do, this bud's for you.
The competition is good. We had to be better. Now your Chrysler Plymouth dealer offers 7.5 financing or up to $1,500 cash back on many new 85s. And Chrysler's 550 protection plan. Get 7.5 or 400 back on Plymouth Horizon, Turismo, and Reliant K. 7.5 or 1,000 back on Chrysler Fifth Avenue. 7.5 or 1,500 back on Premium LeBaron GTS or Laser XE. Only at your participating Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Oh, you're still working. I can come back. Is it morning already? You know, he'd be home by now if he had the new NCR PC6. It's nearly twice as fast as the IBM PC. And look, a brighter, sharper screen.
And it's still compatible?
Oh, naturellement. Are you surprised?
Nope, NCR's made top computers for years.
You mean you're not a little bit surprised? We'll take it. Oof, I'm proud of you.
A better computer. It's exactly what you'd expect from NCR.
Looking for a loan? Tried talking to a financial institution? Big, impersonal. Looks like you need a friend. At Beneficial, we're big.
Hi, I'm Fred.
But very personal. You'll talk to the boss when you talk to Beneficial, so there's no committee, no waiting. Everything could be wrapped up in 24 hours.
Congratulations.
Thanks, big guy.
Thank you.
Beneficial. Talk to the manager and you're talking to the boss.
Hi, I'm Mr. Taylor. My secretary made a reservation.
Yes, she requested a Camaro.
A Camaro? I'm afraid that's a bit much.
It's only $35.95 a day and fun to drive.
Well,
$35.95 a day on weekdays for a Camaro from National and only $24.95 a day on weekends. So why rent just a car when you can rent some wheels?
There it is.
Hey, thanks.
You deserve national attention.
All right.
Meet Detectives McCarran and Rado when they hit the wildest beat in town. Premiering Saturday at 8, 7 Central.
Doesn't he get to you?
Yeah.
Hey, say something then. Let it out. I know!
Drop in on the Hollywood beat. Then,
We're heading for Lime Street.
We insure everything from cabbage to kingdoms.
It's a very dangerous business.
That depends on your point of view.
Well, sometimes I get lucky.
Robert Wagner in the premiere of Lime Street Saturday.
You'll love it.
Every day, thousands of our neighbors would go hungry if it weren't for a very special organization, the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. With the help of hundreds of volunteers, it provides food for more than 26,000 people in our community each month. For the special contributions that make this performance possible, we thank a lot of special people.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you.
Pittsburgh National. We're a bank that believes in performance.
Pittsburgh is great.
Not long ago, Bill bought an AT&T PC. Bob bought another kind. When they needed better graphics and even more speed, Bob got a new one. Bill just added it on. When they needed multitasking, Bob got another new one. Bill just added it on. Because with the AT&T PC, Bill could add on new features as his needs changed. So when Bob couldn't keep up with his business, Bill just added it on. AT&T, the computers with the future built in. From AT&T, the right choice.
Tomorrow, following the presidential news conference, Tony and Angela fight it out to discover who's really the boss.
You'll love it.
From stripe-torn Northern Ireland, a champion has emerged. On June 8th of this year, young Barry McGuigan faced his greatest challenge, the WBA World Featherweight Championship. His opponent, the longest reigning current champion, Eusebio Pedrosa. McGuigan, relentless in his attack, became not only the new champion, but also a unifying symbol for his native land. Now his first title defense as he faces the #1 contender, undefeated Bernard Taylor, live on a special ABC's Wide World of Sports, September 28th.
Boston, the city that kicked off America's fight for freedom. The fight's still going on today. That's where I come in. My mother told me never to play with guns, so I don't play. My name is Spencer.
You picked the wrong graveyard, punk. John Hancock is buried here.
Paul Revere, you don't fit.
From the series of best-selling suspense novels by Robert B. Parker, Robert Urich is Spencer for Hire, premiering Friday at 9, 8 Central.
Dudley, what is it?
It's that noisy muffler down there.
Go to Midas. Trust the Midas touch.
Dodge has the best of the big three. 7.5 financing or $400 back on Omni, Charger, and Aries K. 7.5 or $500 on full-size pickups. 7.5 or $1,500 on Daytona Turbo Z and Lancer ES. Plus 5-year or 50,000-mile protection. It's a revolutionary deal from Dodge, and it's the best of the big three.
See your Pittsburgh area Dodge dealer today.
And now, Pennsylvania Lotto. Dump the balls and mix them clean. Draw the first number.
The real excitement of playing Pennsylvania Lotto is more than just choosing 6 numbers from 1 to 40. And it's more than just watching the jackpot grow. The really exciting part is watching the live Lotto drawing and knowing you could win.
Draw the 6th number, please.
The Pennsylvania Lottery's Pennsylvania Lotto game, with hundreds, thousands, even millions of dollars in prizes. It could happen to you.
At a sticker price of $59.99, this Nissan lists for $1 more than our leading competitor's standard truck. But look what you get for your buck. A bigger engine, bigger payload, a 5-speed, steel-belted radials, welded double-wall bed, all for $59.99. Nissan, it's a lot more truck for $1.
But hurry, time's running out to save lots of bucks. 8.8% financing ends October 2nd. The name is Nissan.
This fall, millions of people will change their antifreeze, but not their radiator hoses. It's an easy mistake to make, because hoses can look good outside even when they're wearing out inside. So put in Quality Gates hoses the next time you change antifreeze. Because if your hoses go, your car won't.
You've got to get him back. And when you've got him, you head for the mountains. Bush. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Bush. Brewed the natural way for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush.
Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountains.
Sunday, it's television's biggest night, the 37th Annual Emmy Awards on ABC.
Are you as happy with your car as these Nissan Sentra owners?
Sentra drives super. It is the easiest shifting car I've had yet. It's absolutely wonderful.
It feels great going around the corners, and it really hugs the road.
You have the comfort of a large car, all put into a small, compact car.
Sentra, America's most popular import.
Have you ever driven a Sentra yourself? Well, you must, because believe me, once you do, you're going to be sold also.
The name is Nissan.
John Houseman for Smith Barney.
When it comes to personal service, today's Gulliver-sized firms are often tied in knots. They make their customers feel like Lilliputians. Smith Barney is managed on a human scale. Big enough to offer an array of investment services, not too big to treat clients as individuals. Smith Barney, they make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
When the big Q flows, America goes.
Still beautiful, Dad.
Took your brother through college, take you wherever you want to go.
On Quaker State.
Right. Smooth oil flow is what you want, protects the engine. See, Quaker State starts with Pennsylvania-grade crude, delivers stable viscosity.
You get great protection with the big Q.
Hey, how come you know so much?
From listening to you.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
The saga of the men and women who live, love, and die by the proud and silent code of our family honor. Premieres tomorrow night at 9, 8 Central on ABC.
People around here can't seem to get enough of their Steelers or their hometown brew. So here's to deep tradition and the deep down satisfying taste of a cold Iron City beer.
Well, you can't pump an iron in Cincinnati, Kansas City, or Tampa Bay. You can't pump an iron too far away from Pittsburgh, PA.
But here's to deep tradition, to deep down satisfying taste.
Pump an iron
to the one that's brewed right here.
Pump an iron.
Iron City beer, where you can't pump it.
The Atlantic difference.
Some people have already discovered the Atlantic difference. They make more money at Atlantic. Make more money at Atlantic. Some people keep more of what they make with broker discounts, lower credit costs, and tax shelters at Atlantic. Keep more of what you make at Atlantic. Atlantic Financial. We can make a difference. Here's another way.
We can make a difference.
Give me a light. Bud Light. Cold but chilly.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get. Give me a light. Bud Light. So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Good, give me a light. No, Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
On October 2nd, the curtain is coming down. On October 2nd, the only factory-sponsored compact truck financing available is coming to an end. Miss October 2nd and you could miss saving hundreds of dollars in interest payments, up to $600 on this Nissan truck, up to $1,300 on this one. The end is October 2nd. The name is Nissan.
If you're waiting to buy a personal computer, you may have questions about power, expandability, and dollars and cents. For the complete answer, take a close look at IBM. An IBM PC runs thousands of programs, expands easily, and prices are better than ever. So don't wait. Once you take the first step, the rest come easy. IBM Personal Computers.
An ABC News special CBS calls a class act all the way. A masterly chronicle of America's role in the world, says Time magazine. 4585, Wednesday.
You're looking at Glenn Young. He's deep with the Cleveland Browns, former Philadelphia Eagle. And here is Gary Anderson to kick off. He usually puts it in the end zone. Right at the goal line. Glenn Young will bring it back. And Young hammered at the 25, falls out to the 28. Hit there first by Steve Morse, the rookie from Virginia. But now, what do the Cleveland Browns do? The momentum taken away from them somewhat. Louis Lips sparking that touchdown drive with a 38-yard punt return. Mark Malone getting the touchdown shot to John Stallworth. And here comes Gary Danielson. Tough competitor. He's had to be tough tonight. He was really whacked around in the first half. At the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 Cleveland. We're in the fourth quarter. 11:55 remaining. Ball is loose. There's a scramble. Biner coughs it up. It was mishandled in the exchange between Danielson and Biner.
You know, I hate to see it back this time of the season, regular season, and mishandled handoff. The weather's ideal. I don't know why they're having these problems with two handoffs, fumbles.
You get that more on the natural turf too. You get sand, and particularly when you're coming out of the infield like that, you get sweat, you get it on your wrist. Tough to handle sometimes.
Well, I tell you one thing, Marty hasn't convinced this team that the fourth quarter is theirs yet, because on the last series they came out, there was a lot of confusion as to where they should line up, and they seem to be having a lot of confusion now. Everybody's looking to the sideline, making arm gestures.
Second down and 12, and in the confusion, they have to call timeout. And the Cleveland Browns, they lead by 3, 10-7, 11:22 remaining in the third quarter, but the Browns have one timeout remaining. That could hurt later.
No matter how hard you work, Right Guard can help keep you smelling good for up to 24 hours.
You work hard, you need Right Guard.
This is Brush Plus from Gillette. A shaving concentrate and brush in one. A brush to lift whiskers, a concentrate to soften them. A shave that is superior. Brush Plus for a superior shave.
When it's icy cold and the wires are down and they're spitting sparks all over the ground, you gotta go. Can't fool around. That's why America goes with Prestone.
A fresh fill of Prestone Chew antifreeze fights freeze up and rust up too. A radiator could look this bad after just 10,000 miles of driving on weak, neglected antifreeze, while the Prestone radiator looks this good. Get the Prestone difference.
America goes and goes and goes with Prestone.
This is one of Nissan's most technologically advanced cars. It has computer-controlled carburation, a 4-cylinder overhead cam engine, 5-speed transaxle for precise front-wheel drive handling. Surprisingly, this is also Nissan's lowest-priced car, the Sentra, America's best-selling import. For an economy car that doesn't skimp on technology, the name is Nissan.
No matter how things change or how we live today, the best things in life are done the original way. Enjoy something original. Secret herbs and spices taste naturally better somehow.
Kentucky Fried Chicken original recipe. We've been doing chicken right for 40 years. We're not going to change it now.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Enjoy something original now.
Radio Shack knows when you're in business for yourself, you have to be productive to be profitable. The Tandy 1000 gives you a wide choice of PC-compatible software that allows your small business to do the job efficiently. And the price performance of the Tandy 1000 will convince you to have one for work or study at home. Tandy computers, in business, for business. Only at Radio Shack.
Here's where America gets confidence installed. Sears. Right now, save on a muzzler muffler. Now only $14.88 installed. Heavy-duty shocks are now only $8.88 installed. A Sears two-wheel brake job with a limited lifetime warranty is only $59.99. And save 50% on Sears Super Guard radios. But hurry, these prices are too good to miss.
There's more for your life